What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the this is the WWE's Friday Night SmackDown review video. I guess you could say post-show edition of AEW. About WWE Saturday Night's main event from this past Saturday. And I was like, it was nothing like out of the ordinary, just like a typical episode of SmackDown. Like if it was in the post show, it was more likely like just like a random like if there was a pay-per-view list month episode of SmackDown, like that was pre-taped, like for the holidays, kind of deal. But obviously this is the week before the holidays, and yeah, they just did everything generically, other than like talking about what happened this past Saturday. But the things I was looking forward to looking at, unfortunately, it did not happen how I predicted it to be, especially with Kevin Owens and Chelsea Green. And just what happened, what will happen after their respective bouts, on vignettes or pre-taped interviews, because I know this was obviously pre-taped the week before and the night before the event, but they could have did a bit more better than this. At least, they don't want. I can understand they didn't want no spoilers or anything on leaking out on the internet, and then everybody already knowing who's going to be the first ever women's United States champion for the Saturday Night's main event. So I guess that was understandable, but I hope they can do a better job next week or the week after that, wherever they're gonna start gonna be making any episode of the any episode of the Blue Brand. But I thought I might point that out. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but some good matches, including the main event, which continue to tease the friendship of Jackson Stratton, and also we got a pretty intriguing rivalry with the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY with the former mentor of Johnny Gargano, Alex Shelley, takes on his former best friend and protege, what's his name, Johnny Gargano, and then and more to talk about here on the SNA podcast. But we're going to be talking about that's where they showed pretty much all the hype videos, which I believe this was probably just added into the pre-tape episode of SmackDown live on the US. Not actually live, but scheduled on this night, for the USA Network or whatever you get your broadcast from outside of the United States. But yeah, this is where we got that. It's where they showed what happened to Cody Rhodes, which he ended up what he was diagnosed with. I totally forgot what it was But they said luckily there was not a lot of cracks in it, so that's a really good sign, and that that showed that this was all part of the rivalry, and Cody was going to take some time off, probably until January, and then that's when we could see this match revisited. Whether if that's Saturday Night's main event or even the Royal Rumble in February, I think they're going to do a rematch. But I just cannot understand why they're doing a lack of title defenses with Cody Rhodes. Ever since towards the end of this year, they only had him defend the title every once in a while. Anyway, further delay, let's move on. Let's get to everybody that was coming inside the building. We got DIY, the Most of the Machine Guns, Nia Jackson, Candice, and even Bianca and Naomi. But this is where we got This is where we got Solo Sikoa then came out and with his bloodline, except Tonga Loa because he's still injured, and I wish him the full fast speedy recovery at this time. But yeah, this is where we got what's her name, Alicia Taylor. Then what's it called? This is where then Alicia Taylor introduced the Hartford fans who exactly he is, which is Solo and his cousins Tama and what's his name, Jacob. And this is where Solo went on the microphone. He was like Hartfield, acknowledge me. And so Roman Reigns sat on his boat with his wise man. Which is also his name is Paul Heyman, by the way. And he decided to challenge me, your tribal chief, your trooper, in January 6th, 2025, to a Combat match on Raw like on Monday Night Raw, like on Netflix for the Ula Fala, like and he's like, and the title, like, and then this is where and every time he said all this like stuff, this is where he started saying it in a couple of words in the sentence, and while fans start chanting what, like if they're doing it to a certain Olympic gold medalist, and also sure glad they were in Stanford and not in Pittsburgh for this, and even though if they were in Pittsburgh, I would say I don't think there was no sightings with the Olympic gold medalists unless he decided to pay a visit and backstage, but luckily he wasn't there, or else his night would have been ruined, and that wouldn't look good. But this is where Souls goes like, "Oh, you can continue to shout what all you want." This is where he's like, but here's what I want you to do. Do me a favor, fans. Instead of chanting that horrible, disgusting word, which I understand why Kurt Angle gets annoyed of it, like instead of saying what, y'all should be acknowledging me. Here's where fans start booing right after he said that. I'm like, this never gets old when heel wrestlers buries the catchphrase. Which the only thing they're missing though is saying it's all Stone Cold's fault. Maybe that would eventually get tired. So I guess I understand why the heels don't say that. But that's where fans start chanting Tribal Chief or OTC, the original Tribal Chief. And this is where the Stone Cold's like, okay, Roman, if you want to challenge me in a tribal combat match, like you could take the Tribal Chief to war, and this is where fans start continuing saying what, and he's like, so be it, let's do it, cause I believe I'm gonna leave my bloodline behind, only if you good behind, and as a matter of fact, leave the wise men behind while you're at it, and he's like, and leave Jimmy behind, leave Jay behind, and definitely leave Sammy behind. So Roman, listen up. And listen very clearly, while you're watching this on your TV screen at home. It's like, in January 6th, the fans start to say, what? Like him saying, I'm walking in, and not only, is the tribal, but I'm walking out is the Tribal Chief. And this is where the fans are like, yeah, right, we're going to see about that less than 3 weeks from now. This is where then Solo Sikoa then also add on to his rant and his and I'll say his annoyance promo to the fans, by saying he's gonna remain the head of the table in this very ring in January 6th, and he's gonna still be not only Roman's Tribal Chief, but everybody else is in the arena's Tribal Chief. And he's like, and I'm still going to have the Ula Fala, no matter what, into this journey, of battling who should get the title of this term and this spot in the family. This is where he's like, so Roman, I want your ass in the January 6th, which that sounds very inappropriate, even though he didn't mean it in that way. But this is where we got Soul's Code to continue saying, you can hop back in your little boat and you can sail all the way to the island of irrelevancy, which I start cracking up. I'm like, what the hell is that? Where the hell that island came from? It's more ridiculous than when Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns used to refer this imaginary island that they made up called the Island of Irrelevancy. But yeah, but before he can even continue his rant, this is where we got Drew McIntyre interrupting him. This is where then he sent them a message, and then saying he showing that he still remembers when he cost him his shot at becoming undisputed WWE champion, and they got on the microphone. And this is where before he said anything, Stole's yeah, I remember you super kick Jimmy in the face last week. I appreciate that, and I really enjoyed that myself. And this is where the Drew McIntyre's it is okay, that's one thing, but how did you saw what I did to your older brothers, both Jimmy and Jay, and even your honorary one, Sami Zayn. But I haven't forgot about what you've done, and I'm surprised that you haven't. You've been laying down in bed and waking up at night saying and it's about how it was so close of not beating, how close that I was beating you, and also of an inch of your life on what you did to me. And this is where the soul's go and keep on going. I'm listening. This is what Drew McIntyre yeah, It was like, yeah, like you like what I did with Jimmy, huh? Yeah, you also like what I did to Sammy, and I remember I took on your brother Jay as well, solo. Like, I want to know one thing, like when you lie in bed at night, you ask like, do you ask yourself like when is there's a matter of time when Drew McIntyre start coming after me next? And our fans start cheering, like hopefully this does lead into, and this is where me and Simon probably were like happy pandas from hearing this. Like he's finally giving the teases like of him going after Solo and being his next victim, and maybe at the end we can see Roman Reigns be the next target. But when do you think we can see a showdown with Solo and the Scottish Warrior? Let me know in the comment section right down below. I think it could be like anytime after Mania, if you ask me. But this is where the Drew McIntyre continues yeah, you are the one that cost me a WWE title at Clash of the Castle 2 years ago, or over 2 years ago. Like, you the one that caused my family pain and suffering, like in misery, not to mention, like, and that also caused me pain and misery as well. Like, just me just looking at him, being humiliated after seeing me get squashed by you and Roman. Like, and yeah, you almost squashed Roman Reigns. This is where Soul Skull's like, yeah, and this is where the Drew McIntyre, yeah, and you're the only member of the family that had the balls to stand up to Roman Reigns and take his spot, Solo. Like the rest of them act all tough and stuff. Like they act like you can do something. Like we're gonna make a stand against me. Like and snap his fingers, like, and that didn't change me a bit. Like I'm gonna tell you, my heart's like. He's like, yeah, we got this. What is that? Like my heart said, what he said, like that. Him and Solo. And the rest acted tough, like they acted like they want to do something about it, and they're gonna make a stand against him. But he snapped his finger, and then they haven't changed a single bit. Like, so I'm torn about that. Like, he's like, my heart says like to jump you with my instinct, but the instinct in my head and my brain says that we have the same goal right about now, Solo. Like, so like, how about it's where then he looked like he was teasing the alliance. Like, so here's what I'm thinking of this proposition right into my mind. I reckon start working his way through his hit list of those taking out those more and more guys that cost me like much of plenty of opportunities that I'm receiving like from the past couple like. And then this is where it is like, I'm gonna keep going by one of those bloodline members, and you Solo like you take you do the same for me and everybody else. Like you take out Roman Reigns for good. Like when you face him at January 6th, and this is where the after that business has been finished, then it's gonna be you and me. That's what he said right here. Sorry, my accent. I cannot do it because I'm having some very voice issues. I can barely even sound myself. But it's like after you take care of that business, like it is gonna be you and me. That's what he said, until he gets dragged down underneath the ropes, right into the right corner side. It's where Drew McIntyre knew who it was, and it's where then he tried to go for an attack, but he gets whacked right in the back with the cane. You already know who I'm referring to. And it was the man Daddy Claymore kicked last week, who was none other than Jimmy Uso. Lay out Drew McIntyre right in the back. This is where we got Jimmy Uso and close on him out of the ring, like boom, onto the timekeeper's area. Jimmy Uso to try to fall after him. This is where Jimmy Uso is like, I know, get back here. This is where we got LA Knight and Apollo Crews and Andrade came out to take out the bloodline. This is where they went in the rings, like beating up, boom, 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 just kicking their butts, like, and this is where Solo, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu tried to fight right back, but they were barely doing with the baby faces wiping out the new bloodline out of the ring, like with clotheslines out of the ring, and even Jacob Fatu like being the last one to be thrown out with Apollo Crews in the pump kick right in his face, while Andrade followed that up with his own, with them throwing him out right after LA Knight clothesline, yeah, Solo out, and while Andrade clothesline, what's his name, Tamatanga, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. This is where the babyfaces stand up tall in the ring until it went to the most powerful force in all of professional wrestling. The commercial break, like until like when the average went up. This is where we got the match started with Apollo Crews starting things off with the right hand man of the new tribal chief, and that is Tama Tonga. With him, got him in the gorilla press slam, pick him up around the ring, like when it was on when we came back from the adverse is where he picks him right back up. He gets tagged in by LA Knight, which LA Knight took over, started hitting some right strikes right into the back of the son of Haku. This is where he gets another right hand, just repeatedly. And the fans are chanting, ah! And then this is where then he throws Tama dip right into the right side and the left side. This is where then he bow his head, which that was a humongous mistake. Way before LA Knight was heading his way, he gets hit with a spinning neck breaker right in the middle of the ring. LA Knight starts stomping him right to his back. He tags in Andrade. This is where then he El Idolo Master then kicks the side of the right side of the arm of what's his name, Tama Tonga. This is where then and tries to hit some knife edge chops right into the chest. That's where he's like, my chest. And that's where then we got Andrade. Picks Tama Tonga up, tags in the Apollo Crews. Double Irish whip into the right side. Then go for a back elbow. This is where then we got Apollo Crews going for a pin. But this is where we got Tama Tonga kicks out at 2.2, if I'm mistaken. This is where we got Apollo Crews picking up. Yeah, what's his name? Tama Tonga start hitting some right hands right to the face. This is where we got him doing more, like I believe did like for a couple more times till he tags in Andrade back in the ring. This is where we got Andrade kicks him right in the gut. This is where Tama Tonga start hitting some punches right into the midsection. This is where he tried to go for three amigos, like some wrestler that's over the other company would like to do, along with Dirty Dom likes doing it. But anyways, where we got Andrade go for a Hurricane Rana right onto Tama Tonga right to the right side, coming from the right side. This is where Jacob Fatu then Andrade try to go for a spear right out of the ring with El Idolo Master. This is where Andrade dodges out of the way, throws him right to the left side. Andrade then go up right up in the top rope in the bottom left side where his wife used to be diving off of, like up in the diving over the top moonsault, while Apollo Crews had a splash dive running to the right side to the left side. This is where we got LA Knight and you better stay away, Solo. Like if you think you can jump Froggy Joe and jump right into the mega stuff. It's where Stone Cold's like, no, I want him. Which he was pointing to Andrade. This is where LA Knight's like, oh yeah, if you want El Idolo, you got to get through me, the man that everybody says. And this is where I don't think he was about to say it, but he was the referee to interrupt him. Say, can you get back to your corner right here? This is where LA Knight's like, all right, yeah. And then this is where he goes right in the top corner side. This is where we got Andrade throws it was Apollo Crews throws Tama Tonga right to the middle of the ring. This is where we got Apollo going for a suplex. This is where we got Tama Tonga hitting the punches right into the midsection. This is where then we got Tama Tonga try to go for German suplex. This is where Apollo Crews start elbow striking him right to the face, like boom, 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 boom. And this is where they throw him right to the bottom corner side. This is where he gets tagged in by Jacob Fatu. That's where he puts him right to the top corner side. He goes for slide duck. Jacob go for a back elbow strike. This is where Jacob Fatu like, yeah, like if he was his Uncle Umaga, like if he's like a crazy bulldozer. Well, he's actually a werewolf. But it's where when we got this is where we got the powerful force and all professional wrestling came on. Like again, and that was a commercial break. But it's where by the time the average came out, it's where he already tagged in Sol Sikoa, which he started doing his heinous hostage hostile like beat down on Apollo. It's where with him just teasing Apollo Crews that if you want to tag in one of your friends, like go ahead, like be my guest. Is where Apollo tried to do with pressure or trying to tag him in, but unfortunately, like it was not exactly how like he thought it was going to work out, which he should have heed the warnings. This is where we got Sol Sikoa like, too bad, like you're not really gonna tag him in. This is where he pulls him and knocks him over into the bottom right side. Jacob Fatu then gets tagged in by Solo. This is where we got Jacob Fatu then try to go for a body slam right into the ground. This is where we got Jacob Fatu like, yeah! And this is where then he runs right to the right corner side, goes for a senton, but this is where we got Apollo Crews got the knees up. That's where we he then went right into the middle of the ground. Is where we got Jacob Fatu trying to stop him from tagging in anybody, which he ends up tagging somebody anyways, which was Andrade. This is where he dug out Jacob Fatu's clothes on. This is where then he hits a strike right into Tama Tonga, nearly to Solo, but Solo moved out of the way. Probably the smartest move of Solo to do in this match. But this is where we get Andrade start whacking some right hands right into the face when he turns around with Jacob Fatu right behind him. This is where then we got get pushed by Jacob right into the right side, but this is where he does have a clothesline, run to the left side, hits a flying crossbody right onto the werewolf. This is where Andrade's like, yeah, eat it all, and then he start then putting his hand, started grabbing him, rubbing him real tight. Where then he went right to the bottom left side, then he went back to the diagonal side where Jacob Fatu was at, in the upper right side, and a double knee meteor right into the face. Here's where we got. That's where we got one turn. That's where we got. I'm trying to try to go for a pinfall. But this is where we got what's his name? Jacob Fatu go for a kick out at 2.7. This is where them he was like, yeah, like of course he would probably kick out at. Like, I mean, this is a very painful maneuver, but probably not the most powerful and dominant maneuver, just like the Assassin Valley Driver. This is where Andrade did take a page out of his own playbook and even his wife's playbook that they love doing best, and that is the double moonsault. I go for one, like, but in case if that is where he still stands, is go for another moonsault right onto his opponent, which was Jacob Fatu. But this is where with Jacob Fatu while Solo tags in his back. This is where he counters him right to the left side. Andrade kicks him right in the head. But it seemed like Jacob Fatu didn't phase anything. Doing a pretty good job doing a pretty good job, pretty good job being like an invincible character. That's where he starts screaming like that. You cannot break me down. I tried to do another shot. Is where he did not be successful at the time when Andrade tried to go for a clothesline. He gets hit with a flapjack with a slash hot shot by Solo in the right side, which was like the old version of one and done, like flipping him right out the Solo and picks up Andrade, driven him right to the bottom right side ring post. That's where we got. That's where then they showed a replay of which it looked very painful with him just selling it like a champ, like if WWE offered him $1 billion salary, like for taking that move itself. But this is where then we got Jacob Fatu throws, what's his name, Andrade right up onto the right side, hits it with a pop-up Samoan drop, and yeah, he is Samoan, maybe partially, just like his cousin, the final boss, if that's true. But this is where we got the partial powerful force came on, and that was the picture-in-picture version of the commercial break. But once it got done in the advert, that's where we got Jacob Fatu already had put them Andrade right into the upper right side about his running hip attack, but lucky Andrade dodged it out of the way. That's where he ends up finding the mega star himself, LA Knight. And that's where then he tried to crawl his way to him. It's where Jacob Fatu tried to drag him right to the corner. This is where he ends up getting instigated by Andrade. This is where he ends up hitting a tag on him. And once he did so, it's like if it's WWE 2K, like if they have this effect, like when you tag in to get the hot tag, with him being on fire, with the fans must have feel it because they must feel it as well because they chanted, yeah, and this is where then he came in, he was on fire. Then he ducks out of a clothesline from Tama Tonga, went for a clothesline on his own. This is where then he picks up the Tama Tonga, starts stomping on him right to the bottom left side. When the fans start chanting, yeah, every time he starts stomping, this is where the referee was like, come on, calm down. This is where LA Knight's like, no, he tried to take me out and end my career. This is where then we got Jacob Fatu try to come and create a diversion, but that ended up back. And no one was in home when Solo go for a splash. This is where he hit the swinging. This is where he was like, I got a better idea. This is where he goes for the. That's where he tried to go for a back suplex, while Apollo Crews they go for a frog splash right onto Tama Tonga. This is where they look like they almost had a 3, but they only got a 2.8 when Paul Cruz did that splash on Tama. Unfortunately, he kicked out. This is where he got a crossface from what's his name? Crossface submission onto Tama Tonga, and maybe this would have they probably would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for a meddling a samurai, I guess you could say, because he came out of nowhere after LA Knight then hit a baseball slide drop kick right onto the Jacob Fatu. It's where he hits a King Chaza out of nowhere, and it was none other than the guy that beat LA Knight to become the United States champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. It's where then Nakamura, it's where then he gave him a very creepy and ugly smile. That's where we got Solo Sikoa came in and broke up the crossface that he did the Tamatanga. This where Solo Sikoa like, that was my chance. This where then he hits his version of Ruby hip attack. The new Tribal Chief then hits down. This where then he hits the spinning solo, follow that up with a snapmare version of the Samoan Spike, like if he fought, when he did to John Cena and Roman Reigns from the respective, what's that matches? Those matches, the Crown Jewel matches, like from last year and this year, yeah, respectively. And then it's where he got the 1, 2, 3 with that maneuver, and the winner of this match, the new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tamatanga, and Jacob Fatu. And I'll say, yeah, I gotta admit, this was very intriguing, like which I would give it maybe a dead tie, like of the first place Golden Trophy, because even though it was pretty decent, but at the same time it was good that it was the best match to be entertained with of the night with the main event, which I would give it a tie of still the Golden Trophy. Yeah, if you ask me. But it's where we got Jacob Fatu that always praise to his new Tribal Chief, or is always forever Tribal Chief. I should rephrase that to Solo Sikoa. Put the Ulafala right around his neck. This is where then he was like, yeah, like, I worship you, my Tribal Chief. I acknowledge you, my Tribal Chief. I pray to you, my Tribal Chief. Like if he's the God up in heaven, which I hope doesn't look offensive to the heavenly creator, but that's a different story for a different day. But this is where they put their hands up in the air, like this is where then. This is where we got Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns that was in the interview with what's his name, Corey Graves. Like they're like, yeah, you know, like they're not like, yeah, especially you, Alex, because you take on your former your friend and protege, and the man that betrayed the both of you, like and that also cost you the WWE tag titles, and that is the one half of the tag team champions now, Johnny Gargano. He's like, what kind of thoughts, what's and that's in your mind right now, Alex? And this is where Alexander Shelley was like, yeah, there's one thought in my mind, like it's payback, and then that's it. Like, and this is where Chris Sabin was like, yeah, well, we've known Johnny for 20 straight years, and then this is where then he was like, and we're finally, like, after all this time, like in the match, like this whole, like it's what you, and this is where the. And that's where then Alex shows like, yeah, this caused a lot of taper. Like you can consider a little brother. Like with Johnny, like I'm gonna make sure that you know you made the big mistake of your life. Yeah, and they start breathing in, breathing out. This is where then it is where then this is where Chris Sabin was like, yeah, you ready to do this out, bro? And this is where then Alex showed like, as much as I like you to come out there with me, but like I like to do this all by myself alone. Like, but if something odds up, like I'll probably need you. You're like, I think that Johnny is a man enough. Like if he proves that tonight, like to fight his own battles, this is where now Chris Sabin was like, okay, like follow me, like if you think you can do it, like I respect your wishes, and this is where then. And this is where then we got Corey Graves of Rare Nights like turned babyface because he was like he admires the intentions and the ambitions of what's his name of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin of getting their hands on the Johnny Gargano because you better watch each other's back because I bet DIY is doing that right now, which he was not lying. That's where they show the recap again to Chelsea Green against what's her name what's her name this name Chelsea Green about what Mi Chin because we all see who became the new what's that called, the new WWE Women's United States Champion. This is where we got what's his name Byron Saxton then asked her about like when this is where he's like I'm gonna take you to the match of the match. Like you hit the unpretty her on the Mi Chin. Like the bell rings to 3. Like and you hear Lily Garcia saying the words, the new Women's United States Champion, and that is you, Chelsea Green. And this is where then he's like, she did a little streak. And this is where then Byron Saxton curiously asked, like, what went through her mind is where like, well, Brian, like, which even though it's Byron, but this was like I wasn't really surprised, even though you were, like, and yeah, like that was so cute, like, but like I've been doing this for 10 years, like I worked my entire life to become an overnight success, like, and this is my time, like, this is my name, like in red, white, and green. And she was like, say it with me, Brian. Like, you can say it too voluntarily, Piper. Yeah, of course she would say that to her because that's her friend, but this is what it is. Like red, white, and green. Well, I think Piper's lip sync get this word, and that's where we got or mimicking Byron and Chelsea. This is where this is where Byron asked another question, like what. This one is like, what about like what you're leading into like after tonight's win, considering that you're in the history books of being the first ever women's United States champion. He's like, how it makes you feel like that you're being compared as like the Harley Race in the women's division, and this where then. Like you're being the first, considering he's the first ever men's United States champion in this business, and this where then, but. This was like, yeah, duh. Like, yeah, I'll say duh. Like in the history books, like where I belong. Like it should have been like that 3 years ago, but obviously I was released, which that's something that you and I got away with. Like if it was 3 years ago, like when it was the old management still in charge, but luckily, like that management has been changed in this new regime, like which they're starting to be more realistic and be in a reality perspective. Even though there is some. It's still kayfabe with the wrestlers' characters, that's how I like it in WWE right now. Maybe that's what makes WWE very interesting and intriguing, and not to mention entertaining. But yeah, like they put a little reality into the kayfabe in the world of WWE, like what happened behind the scenes. Like they bring it up, like here, like when it comes to the wrestler story of when them being a success, like especially like in interviews like these. But this is where we got Chelsea Green's like, yeah. Like maybe I should have been there. This is where she was like, maybe I should have been there sooner when the vision has finally changed for the better, and that was 2015. But I wasn't hired then, at least not yet. And it's like, but now I'm here. Like now's that time. Like now's the freaking time, Brian. And this was like, any questions out before you leave and finally leave me alone? And this is where Byron's like yeah, like. Yeah, we see her as Chelsea Green, the new United States championship, and it's where we got Chelsea Green sound like a quarterback that won the Super Bowl, saying, "I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow." With her being excited about that, saying that too, like and. I got to hop on that plane, which we saw on social media, where she was in Disneyland celebrating her latest win with her husband. Like that's about to fight that other guy that also used to wrestle in this company. Two of those guys used to wrestle in this company, but now they're over at the other company fighting for their that company's other company's world title. But which is going to be, I think it was tonight, right? And if that particular wrestler, that's Chelsea's husband, wins, they're probably going to be doing a double celebration with them being champions from two separate companies. But this is where they show. Let's just show a recap of the WWE championship match, which that's where they explain like what Cody Rhodes diagnosed with, like after the match, like when they show the full recap of what happened on Saturday night's main event, which I did make a review of, which I should have told you in the first book. But yeah, make sure to check that out, by the way. But yeah, this is where we got Kevin Owens was very disappointed. This is where we got Cody Rhodes holding up the undisputed WWE championship, holding it up like if he's his father, the late great American Dream Dusty Rhodes. But yeah, this is where then Kevin Owens hit this band move onto Cody Rhodes, just landing him in the package pile driver. This is where the Kevin Owens hold up to that Ring Eagle champion with the fans started booing. Like this is where they showed like that. That's where Corey Graves then said, like, yeah, Kevin Owens used a band move, like, of the pile driver on the Cody Rhodes, causing the undisputed champion, like, and out of the arena last Saturday, like, on the stretcher of all things. It's like, and Cody Rhodes, like, has been taken to a local hospital, like, and he he was diagnosed with back shield compression. That's what it's called. But luckily, like the test, like the final results show that he does not have any signs of fractured bones. And this is where I was like, yeah, that's a complete blessing. Like literally and kayfabenly, if that's even a word. But this is where they showed a vignette of Kevin Owens with that same Winged Eagle WWE Championship, which he claims that he is the WWE Champion. And I totally forgot this was a pre-taped episode, so they're not going to do like a live segment, so there won't be no spoilers. But yeah, this is where we got Kevin Owens holding up the chip. Like, yeah, like I should have been WWE Champion. The guy had him at the 3, which sounds true, but that doesn't mean like you steal a championship just because you got and I quote screwed out of it. Like, even though as much as I am like I am like this a Kevin Owens fan, but you think you got you got D'd over with it, but yeah, but that's where Kevin Owens said like with that rhyme, so I guess it's somewhat true. He's like, I've been waiting so long, like the beat WWE champion for over 7 years, and I'm not gonna stop like until like I get what I want. And he's like, and since I couldn't use this real championship, like I haven't snapped yet. Like it's all gonna be going so much more worse. Like trust me, ladies and gentlemen. Like you don't want me to snap. Because when I do, I won't stop. So Cody, like and Nicholas, the ridiculous artist, like in WWE official, like including the head writer, Mr. Paul Triple H Levesque, like yeah, you don't want to know who's next. Like and then this is where he's like, and then he's like, and it's gonna be all on you. And this is where he did a winking and a kind of thing with his mouth. This is where WWE got ready for the Grayson Waller effect, which we all know like who's the special guest of it. But they kind of teased like a. But that's where they kind of teased like a split again, like with But this is where they showed like yeah, like when Grayson Waller introduced his show after Alicia Taylor did, along with Theory, this is where he was like, it's the Grayson Waller, and this is where this is the Grayson Waller effect, and this is where Austin Theory's like in Theory, like as well, and this is where Austin Theory, Grayson Waller staring at him like, yeah, right. And this is where they continued to do the split. So I was happy that they WWE still acknowledges that there's only a matter of time that they're going to be no longer a tag team, which that's going to be a different conversation for a different day. But it's what Tommaso Ciampa's we were once these tag team titles for these tag team titles the way I did. He wanted to challenge my manhood, and I'm not he thinks I'm a kid, but I'm not a kid. And this is where Tommaso Ciampa was like, he probably known you since you were a kid, I understand why you come from that, but yeah, he didn't have to go that far, looking at that perspective when you're explaining it to. This is where then John Gargano was like, but this is where we got John Gargano's like, but yeah. Since Alex Shelley said he's gonna do this all alone, without Chris Sabin's help, I wish to do the same. And much as I hate to say, not having you by my side ringside, but as okay, it'll be the best to stay right here, in the locker room tonight. You just need to stay right here, because I'm just gonna go out there again. I'm gonna take care, and I'm gonna take business on by myself. And he's like, because I'm not that same Johnny Gargano that's 18, that's 17, 18, 19 guy, that has a dream about becoming a champion, in WWE, because that the dream actually came true, something that barely did for Alex. He was like, so it's okay if I just do this all by myself. This is where Tommaso Ciampa was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna stay right here with my beautiful Goldie here in the main roster. This is where then Johnny Gargano's like, all right, let's do this. And this is where Tommaso Ciampa lied. Well, that's all I'm gonna say for now, but you're gonna have to see what exactly I mean when Tommaso Ciampa was like, yeah, I'm not gonna move a muscle, which we've seen otherwise, when the match happened. But this is where we got. This is where it's like. This is where we got Grayson Waller. But back to the Grayson Waller effect. This is where we got Grayson Waller. Then this is where then we got Braun Strowman. Then came out dressed up as his own version of Santa Claus, or Monster Claus. guess you could call him, because he had the bag of toys for all the kids in the attendance. Oh, instead of ho ho ho, even though he has a beard just like Santa. But it's where Braun Strowman came out, start throwing presents, which is probably WWE merchandise. This is where he started throwing it to everybody. Bro, you get one, you get one, you get one, and then everybody start grabbing them, start catching them. That Braun Strowman throwing them in their way. It's where Braun Strowman's like, ho ho ho, like in a Merry Christmas to you all, just where we saw. It's where the show showed like the replay when Braun Strowman like became 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 a SmackDown member of the roster when he beat Carmelo Hayes last week with that running power slam. This is where the Grayson Waller like, welcome, like this is where the Grayson Waller like, oh look, like it's what the Grayson Waller said in the microphone. It was like, thank you so much for coming, bro. Like I was like. That's where it's very nice and generous of him to help the poor people of Stanford. Like if it's red, like if it's at a Red Cross Center or even the or Salvation Army Center. But like even if it was, like that would be very rude and disrespectful. Like imagine Grayson Waller said that at an actual place, saying yeah, it's very generous to help all these poor lifeless fans here in this specific city, which he did to Hartford tonight. And I was like, yeah, that would be not only disrespectful, but embarrassing himself. This is where then Braun Strowman's like, yeah, that's how you're going to start this interview, pissing me off like that, Grayson. And Grayson was like, no. He's like, I was trying to spread Christmas cheers here, and this is how you're going to be acting like right here on my into my generosity. This is where then we got Grayson like, no, like nothing like that. Like you're right. Like no apology. Like it. He's like, yeah, like it makes sense because you're the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history right now. Like the biggest talk, I'm a big touch on him. It makes sense. That's why Braun Strowman's like, yeah, it can be bigger than this, baby. Like, keep, that's where the fans are saying, like, yeah, this is where Chris was like, but before we start, like, I'm gonna have to. Like I'm gonna let you know one thing before we get started the interview. I invested so much money into this new set and decoration. I spent a lot of money, so like maybe we can continue this Merry Christmas cheers like more calmly and gently. Like it's like maybe we could ask you a few questions. Like it is where it so can we just have like a little like get along conversation here. This is where Braun Strowman like, oh, okay, if everybody told you this before, like, but like you're literally the first guy that actually like that feels welcoming on my show on the Greatest Mother. Like the more I thought about, the more it makes it like you understand the benefit of associating with the A-Town Down Under guys. And this is where like, ain't I right? And this is where Braun Strowman's like I don't know, like because I just threw up a little bit in my mouth, and this is where I start cracking up, like, which I'm probably gonna give Braun Strowman the silver trophy of the night of Goofy Wrestling. But this is where we got Grayson Waller continued, like, okay, like yeah. Yeah, SmackDown's been very scary lately, like especially with the bloodline, like going wild, like and then people being tagged back and forth, like yeah, like you don't want to know about the car part. And this was like, sorry I have to bring that up. Like this was like, but that's what Braun Strowman was like, you know you're talking to, like give me these warnings to. This is what Chris was like, well, it might be a good idea that. He was like, yeah, no, what I'm trying to say is like, Braun look for Braun for once. Like, and you set up like the ultimate like alliance with like as a trio as